family. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. See this morning? See, I'm trying to rein in my excitement. See, what Spirit keeps giving me to talk about is spiritual coincidences. You know, coincidences that just seem to happen. And what's funny is I've been getting this for like a week and some change, and I'm like, all right, and then it's over a week and some change. And it's been absolutely magical, okay? Because I knew I was getting this, but I was told to still wait, still wait, still wait. What are spiritual coincidences? There's no such thing. There are no coincidences in the spirit. I could start and end there. I'm going to say that again so that I make sure that you understand what I'm saying. In the spirit, there's no such thing as a coincidence. It's something that's already set in place before you even knew it was set in place. See, everything that you do, big and small, words you say and don't say, thoughts that you have, all those are creating pieces of a highway in the spirit. It creates part of the journey that you're going on. And what happens is you get this along the way to let you know you're going the right way, you're going the wrong way. It's never by coincidence. It's never by coincidence if you're like, I'm going to get that up front parking space everywhere I go today because I'm up front. I'm in charge. And then all of a sudden, everywhere you go, you've got a parking space that's close to the door of the building that you're wanting to go to. It's not coincidence when you wake up in the morning and you say, I own this day. Negative feelings and thoughts, you do not control me. I own this day. And then you see a billboard that says, be happy. And then you hear bits and pieces of conversation literally that fall into the line of, you hear, everything you want is yours, in bits and pieces of conversations, literally in that order that you're not even listening to, but Spirit has you listen to these bits and pieces. It's not by coincidence that what you're asking for in the spirit world comes to you in some shape, form, or fashion, big or small, before you even realizes that it comes to you. It's not by coincidence. It's like when you're thinking about somebody and then they call you all of a sudden and you ain't talked to them in forever. I'm going to keep it real simple. Excuse me. Sip my mushroom coffee. It's not by coincidence that, and it's, One thing at a time. Okay, Spirit, one thing at a time. It's not by coincidence that all of a sudden you get a windfall of money. It's not by coincidence. See, Spirit had me use that specifically because some people, that's something that everyone can relate to. That people just think, oh, this just happened by coincidence. See, some people are like, oh, I need this money. I need this money. I need this money. There's a difference. Sorry, y'all. But I felt it on my left arm. Like a gentle hand. There's, thank you, Spirit. There's a difference. See, those that get money, who it looks like it just came out of nowhere, it didn't come out of anywhere. Some people, they just know that the money is there. They just know that the money is coming, and they move in that knowing. They say with their words that they know. Their thoughts don't give them worry about this money. And see, sometimes even when you're worrying, like I really, really need this, and Spirit will give you some of it. And that's just to see if you're going to be grateful for that sum, so that Spirit knows where to take you from there. But also to show you need to be changing what you're doing, because nothing is by coincidence. So if you're asking Spirit for something, are your words and thoughts matching what you're asking Spirit for? Because nothing is by coincidence. Ever. Ever. See, the science world calls them synchronicities. When you think of things and they happen. Manifestation, synchronicities, but it's not coincidence. At the end of the day, it's about, I'm understanding these notes now. It's about when these coincidences, I'm using air quotes, when these coincidences happen, are you noticing them? Because Spirit will give you little signs. Will have you hear little things to let you know if you're going in the right way or the wrong way. Like, for the longest time, I kept seeing a series of numbers. I could not see it. Like, I literally could not see it. I would turn on the TV, it would be there. I'd go outside, I'd go driving, it'd be there. I'd walk across it was everywhere. But then I looked up the meaning, the spiritual meaning of the numbers, and it fell right in line. So I changed a couple of things. And then I started seeing patterns. Nothing is ever by coincidence. I started seeing patterns. And what I had to do was do a change in these patterns so that way I was coming out with a different shape. And when I did that, that's when I started seeing different numbers. Literally, the same day, started seeing different series of numbers. And it was like, okay, I need to look this up. And I looked it up because once I figured out I needed to look it up the first time, I started being more cognizant. And then when I got the second series of numbers, I looked that up. That second series of numbers, I can't, let me, is this? I'm looking. I wasn't at first going to say these numbers, but I move in my truth. And I do this podcast because Spirit says that I'm supposed to do this podcast because my truth is what helps somebody else. The first series set of numbers that I was getting was 234. 234. Why was I getting 234 all the time? 234, 234. And I looked it up, and I just have a book, a small book on angel numbers. And it said, words matter. Align your thoughts. As you travel along your soul's journey, your angels ask you to align your thoughts and words for support. How does what you say match up to what you want? When I say that to align my words and thoughts for support, like it's something that I already knew, but at that moment, that was something that I needed to hear because that wasn't what I was doing. Because of the transition I was going through and the change that I had needed to make. So when I did that, and then I started seeing a pattern, different patterns, this one pattern all the time, excuse me. And I was like, this is beautiful, and I'm taking notice. And then I started seeing these second set of numbers. Those second set of numbers was 123. After about 3 days of just seeing 123, I was seeing it at work. And it was crazy how I was seeing it at work. 123 is stepping stones. Spirit. You gonna give me this revelation now? Spirit, you funny. It's beautiful. Thank you. Y'all, I just got a revelation so deep. "123 is stepping stones. It says you're on your way. You're on a distinct path and are well on your way to your goals, and the little things matter. Pay attention to the details. as each choice you make presents a small part of the big picture. Visualizing a path in front of you, leading you to your heart's desire. Stepping stones. One, two, three, stepping stones. Nothing is by coincidence. When you get to know your numbers, when you are learning, you learn them in what order? 1, 2, 3. Because those are your stepping stones, right? Stop. Those are your stepping stones, right? To lead you. Those are the basics. Those are the foundation numbers to everything else. 1, 2, 3. On my neck, I wear an ankh. The ankh represents 3 things. Stepping stone. Nothing is ever by coincidence. Family, I want you to understand that me doing this right now is not by coincidence. I went to 7-Eleven this morning to pick something up. And mind you, I live in Las Vegas, so there's slot machines everywhere. I went to 7-Eleven this morning to pick something up, walked up to the counter and saw the lady who was in there, and I said, "Good morning, Queen." She looked behind me, and the queen that was sitting at the middle slot machine, her whole entire screen, it was whatever it was you had to get. The goal was to get gold coins on the entire screen so you can hit the big, big jackpot. I said, "Good morning, Queen." When she came up to the counter, I walked through the door. I walked through the door. About 5 seconds later, she came up to the counter. I said, "Good morning, Queen." She said, "Good." And then she was looking up behind me, and I turned around and looked. The girl had all gold coins on the screen. This queen sitting there in that middle slot machine. She hit the jackpot. It's... Come on. Some of y'all know, even though that wasn't my jackpot, yes, it was. It was mine because nothing is by coincidence. I knew before I went to 7-Eleven that I was going to be doing this podcast this morning. That was Spirit let me know that was the jackpot. Not all of y'all are going to understand. Sit with me, Spirit. Sit with me. When you know that you are moving right, that's one thing. But when you know in spirit and you get confirmation all the time that that's what you're doing, it does something else to you. See, that lady got the money. That beautiful queen sitting there, see, she got the money. But she doesn't know that I was the one winning. Come on, come on, come on. I wish y'all could see what I see right now. Can I say that? I've never seen that before, though, Spirit. What do I? Right now, what's happening is it's the shape of like a horseshoe. And I've got spirits and ancestors. They're pulling up chairs to hear me. They have pulled up chairs to hear me. For there to take my message. Ashe, Spirit, Ashe. If you think, oh, Spirit, if you think that the little things that you do and say don't matter, you're wrong. Those little things that you're not paying attention to, that you're asking yourself, how come all of a sudden I'm paying attention to this commercial? It's because there's a message in it for you. You don't know how many times you sat and you've looked at something. And then something, you've looked at a show or something that's randomly popped up. And see, you watched a little bit of it, then was like, why am I watching this? Why am I listening to this and turning? See, what you're not asking yourself is, what was I just listening to? Because Spirit wants to give you that message, and that little bit of weird shit that you was like, why did this just pop up? That message was there. Nothing is ever by coincidence. Couple months ago, a couple months ago, Spirit told me that I needed to totally clean off my altar. It was going to happen. I was a little freaked out because that means it was going to be empty. Just empty. And Spirit said, I'm going to let you find what you need. So Spirit led me to a particular store, and I initially had 2 glass little candle holders, beautiful. I was surprised they were there. And then when I went back to the store, where they were at. And I had been there multiple times since I got the first two. Never seen them again. Spirit just had me go the one time, and then there were more. The Spirit said, get them all. Just get them all. I got them all. Bought a bunch of candles. Went to the register, came home. When I took those glass candle holders out of the bag, I bought the rest of what they had. They had 5 left. Their 5 plus my 2, 7. So for a while, it was just those 7 candles on my altar. And then my mentor started this series. And when I found out about it, I was like, is this why my altar is empty? Is this why my altar is empty? And then, this is nothing by coincidence. And then she mentioned a plant. When she mentioned that plant, that's when I knew that not just that one, but all of its family were to be on my altar. And because of the particular type of plant, Spirit won't even let me tell you, but I promise you, if you are in Vicki Dillon Mystery School, you know what plant I'm talking about. That plant and all of its friends like it are what sit on my altar. And my altar has been like wiped clean for months. It's been clean. And see, nothing is ever by coincidence. And I say all that to say, because Spirit said it was like starting over. Because once I got that revelation and certain things started falling into place. And when I finally said something to my significant other the other day, the curtain opened. See, for me, the series that she just started, I need to start over in a whole new notebook from the beginning. Because my coincidence, part of what's coincidence, and I keep saying that in air quotes, part of what Spirit has led me to start doing is starting over, because what I thought was a different chapter, right, isn't even in the same book anymore. And the book that I'm writing isn't even on the same shelf anymore that the other book was even on. Just because it's in the same library doesn't mean that it's on the same bookshelf. So I've moved to a different bookshelf because the other one was so full, and I was trying to stick a brand new book in a full bookshelf. So it was like, you can't do that. because that's not where we are. Where we are is starting new with this. Because that 1, 2, 3, those stepping stones, starting over. Starting over. See, sometimes you have to know when to start over. But see, you're not starting over from the beginning. You're starting over from the place that Spirit has you starting from. And that's a different beginning. That isn't an age. It's a walk. It's a choice. It's a step. God, it's a position. If you choose to move in that. Pay attention to what's around you. That random person who you haven't heard from in a while, good or bad. Why are you hearing from them? Did you manifest that? Did you subconsciously say something or do something to make that happen? Because what it is when you pay attention to something, when you give it just enough thought, it's like when you give a car just enough gas, it gets going. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Spirit said I'm done. So I am done. Family, I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. I thank you, Spirit. I thank you, ancestors. I'm moving this not lightly, but in your guidance and help. And I give thanks for your strength when I feel like mine might falter. I see you, DJ. I give thanks. I give thanks. Family, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Once you realize there's no such thing as coincidences, the Spirit is lining all of these up for you because of your thoughts and your words, and Spirit is trying to tell you something, baby, things are going to change for you because you're responsible for what you know. And when you recognize this, you know this. I love you, fam. Peace.